everyone, I'm Vanessa.
Hi everybody, my name is Meg and this is Finley.
And welcome to the Empowered Roomies YouTube channel.
Welcome to the Empowered Roomies YouTube channel.
So the intention with this channel is to have everything very authentic and vulnerable.
We're going to be covering subjects like dating, relationships, talking about family dynamics, talking about, what is it like to be an entrepreneur and having side hustles and full-time gigs that we're balancing along with a social life.
There's a lot of it that's going to be also about personal development. We're both very spiritual people, so we're going to be talking about our faith.
We really want to open up conversations as well, so talking about maybe some taboo subjects,
things that we're going through in our everyday life, and sharing what we're learning from it so that you can learn from it as well, and hopefully we're inspiring you and empowering you through our stories and our day-to-day life.
We're roommates. We live together. We've been living together for about 5 months now. Maybe not.
September, October, November, December, or January. Oh my gosh!
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was already 5 months.
Yeah, it's crazy. I've been an entrepreneur for the past 6 years. I run a fitness company called AIM Fitness. We do mobile personal training. Very soon we're going to be launching online as well. We work with seniors and adults 50 plus. And then I'm also working on some creative projects, working on a Netflix series right now. And then I have this creative side. I love playing piano, singing. I'm a psych major. I love psychology. I love finding out why people do things, why are we driven a certain way.
My actual job, I'm a communications manager, so I do a lot about branding, graphic design, everything about social media, communications, in both French and English.
I just hired Vanessa as a contractor.
Yes. I'm passionate about public speaking, super passionate about learning new ways to just reduce our waste and reduce the toxic environment that we live in, and going for more natural stuff.
And I think what makes us unique is that love for learning. I know we both believe that life is a journey and we can create whatever life that we want, and we both really believe that what you put out there is what you receive back.
You and I are so different and so similar at the same time, and that's what I love about the fact that we're living together, is that we're able to learn through each other's journey.
And it's been fun living together because we've been on a similar journey where we've been learning about putting in boundaries or saying no or going after what we want or asking for something bigger, and we've been receiving quite a bit recently.
So we met almost 2 years ago, and it was through a networking event that Meg was organizing. And at first it was very formal, very just professional.
Yeah, you called me, and who calls nowadays, right? Yeah. So I remember you called me, you're like, hey, not sure what you're doing tonight. Tonight, number one, no one calls. Number two, no one ever is like, hey, what are you doing right now?
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay, this is nice. Yeah, and you were like, oh, there's this winter event going on. There's dancing and fire eating and just glow lights and stuff. Do you want to go? And I was like, oh, actually, sure, this sounds like fun. So we ended up going, and that was kind of our first time we hung out.
So we became the spontaneous buddies.
We did, yeah.
It's the synchronicities that are so interesting, because I really believe that you and I were meant to be this close and to moving together. And I remember when I first moved into my apartment, I was living alone for a while, and I was in a place where I've lived with so many roommates that I was I'm done with this. I want to live by myself and do my own thing and be super independent. And it's been over a year now that I've been living by myself, and I was starting to get lonely, and I was I'm ready to move in with someone, but this is how it's going to be. And it's going to be someone that is like-minded, that we're going to be able to grow together, to impact each other, and that we're going to be on the same page for these types of things. And so I wrote down everything, and I just let it out in the universe, and I was when the timing is right, I'm in no rush right now, and when the timing is right, this right person will be there. And it's literally when I was driving to pick you up to go to Anmat that the thought came in my mind, Meg would be an amazing person to live with. Like, we're getting along super well, and we're in the same type of mindset. So I remember that's when I brought it up. So I feel like, you know, the synchronicity of me asking at the right time and having the idea at the right time.
Yeah, and at that time I'd started up like a business doing dog sitting. So I had kind of determined I want to do this for the full year. And so this was about like probably 3/4 through the year. Yeah, about halfway through the year. And I'd had like a really bad experience, so that was really making me reconsider how long I want to do this dog sitting thing for. And I realized through those 8 months that I was lonely too, and that living alone was not beneficial to me anymore, and that I was ready for a roommate again. So I remember you asking, it was like exactly the right timing. Even like the details of like finding this place were pretty amazing too.
Yeah.
So this was the fall, so we talked about this in June. We said, you know what, let's aim for September, no, October. And literally I talked to quite a few real estate agents, remember, and they were saying there's less than a 1% opening for apartments or homes right now to rent. Like less than 1%.
Yeah.
So I had people telling me like, you know what, maybe just wait till January, don't even bother, like it's just gonna be, you know, you won't find a spot. So what we did is we made a list of, okay, these are exactly the things that we want in the apartment, and let's make our own list to see if it connects. So we were looking on Kijiji and had gone to see maybe 3 spots, and then nothing was lining up to see if we feel right.
Discouraged.
Yeah, and really feeling like maybe we should just like settle for something.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we were like, no, like we're holding out.
And I had to give 2 months notice before I moved out. So now we were like in August, and we're nowhere near finding a place. We're still like discouraged because all the places that we visit are like terrible. So we're like, okay, if I give my notice now, we have to wait until November 1st until we can actually move in. We're thinking, okay, you know what, like let's, you know, agree that I will give my notice on September 1st and we'll have until November 1st to find something.
Yeah.
So this was like, okay, we need to make this happen. And I remember freaking out. Oh my gosh, what do we do if you don't find anything? Like, what am I gonna do? Where am I gonna live? You know?
Yeah.
I asked for a sign, and I was like, I feel like I need a probation to know that I'm doing the right thing by giving my notice. So I asked for an owl. And
an owl.
Yeah. And the same day, I went on Instagram and I just like saw an owl on Instagram, and I was like, oh my gosh, okay.
How often do you see an owl?
I know, I never see owls. But that week, I saw them everywhere, like literally everywhere. So I came back home, and you came with me, like at my place, so that I could give the letter to my landlords.
It was a huge step, because she was like, oh, where are you moving? And you're like, I don't know yet. It was such a step of faith. And then my urgency was, so in between my dog sitting, I was staying at my parents' place, and my brother and sister-in-law sold their home, but they were in the same boat as us. So literally, my brother and sister-in-law, 2 little babies, and my parents and me are all under one home. Anyways, yeah, it was like early September, we found this spot, and I asked her, I said, oh, how long have you had it on Kijiji for? And she was like, actually, someone was going to rent it, but then it just didn't seem like the right fit. Yeah, it just didn't work out.
All the places that we visited in Ottawa, this place is like 10 times better at all the other places that we visited for like less of the price of the other places. Like, it's ridiculous.
It's true. Every single day I wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. We're so blessed. But I think that's too something that we're going to be sharing throughout this channel is, you know, things that we want and that we're manifesting and that we believe is coming to us. Like, we're going to be able to share that journey.
That's going to be fun, entertaining, because we always have like crazy, ridiculous and funny moments.
Always.
But also very powerful and inspiring.
And if there's certain topics that you want us to cover, be sure to comment below. Share, you know, something that resonated with you, something that maybe has gotten you to think.
If you're conscious, if you want to learn more, if you want to just be entertained at the same time as inspired and empowered, definitely subscribe.
So we will see you in the next video. Bye.